Morning, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. Okay. First, this is not a personal reading. It's not for the ones who left these groups that were in my situation or any kind of situation and now trying to make their lives better and their families. I'm proud of you and everyone on my channel, my brothers and sisters, my family, collective, hidden help, etc., all around the world. Remember, you are enough. All is welcome. Subscribers, viewers, everyone, and thank you. All is welcome as long as you respect me and ones on my channel. I don't judge as long as you don't or come to harm in any way. I hope you take what fits and learn from it. This way you can help others and it will help you. Don't take what don't fit. Just learn from it for whoever's message that it will be. And that, any reader you go on to, it should always be that way. You respect a channel and you take what's yours, and whatever doesn't fit, learn from it. Whoever's message it is for, you learn from it. This way you can, know what to look for. This way it don't happen to you. And remember, all messages come from God, Spirit, and our ancestors. Anyway, I said this before, and other places. I said that, down the line, along the lines that, wow, I saw. Okay, thank you. I just got another confirmation. But anyway, about how the Bible changes and stuff like changed, and some couldn't, I don't know, read it, and they put their own stuff in. And then some, I'm not saying all, when they read it, they don't take the right meaning. This way they can explain it. This way you can learn about God and Jesus and, etc., etc. But I'm not going to get into all that. But I also said that, and I'm not the only one, and I said this before, I'm pretty sure I have a video up on it, all of it. But I know I did say it other places. But anyway, with these people that think that, by using words and stuff like that, that, people aren't, I did say it before, that it depends on what they are saying, that they're actually, cursing, putting a curse or whatever on someone, that you had to be careful what you said. I mean, everyone says things out of, anger or whatever. But the thing is, you have to make sure that you're actually not harming a person with words. Now, let's get back to these, some pastors or whatever you call the women who are pastors. I don't know, pastorettes, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Whoever does things behind the scenes. Like what's going on with me and others of, my brothers and sisters and etc. These, magic and all that other happy horse crap. I heard something, a confirmation, but I also been speaking, to God and a few others, because I think I mentioned it on my last video about, being tricksters. I've been having that, and I've been bringing that up, that, you're not going to stop me from having conversations. You're not going to trick me or whatever. But the way that I heard it, also, that, behind the scenes, that people are, and I did say it, they are changing the words in the Bible when people read it. So when I heard it again, the confirmation, I didn't finish whatever I saw it from, but hopefully I can find it again, and I will go back to finish. I wasn't sure. Which one or where of how they're doing it with the words. But I do. Well, I had a talk, and I'm pretty sure I don't know exactly if, how, I guess, others said it. If others did say it. But I went into detail because because that's what I do. To put a stop to something, oh, I go into detail with God and whoever else. So, and I am also not the only one who keeps saying it, that how it upsets us that people mock God or Jesus. It's not going to happen anymore. So whoever does word magic or whatever, or any kind, I already told you what will happen about, if it's any kind, any tools or whatever you use or do in these rituals, what will happen? Well, you're not going to like what's going to happen. About using whatever in Jesus' name or God's name or anybody's name. So when you do a ritual or whatever, and you replace names of whoever you're trying to, destroy, or, I don't know, death spell, or for them to get ill on their love life, etc., etc., etc. Everyone gets it. Especially, the ones who are being attacked. We definitely get it. You're not going to like. Oh, and I was also told, usually things happen after I said it, 3 days, sometimes 3 months. No. All I had to do was, Dad, I'm your baby. I don't like the way they're, trying to trick you. I mean, he said, don't worry about it, baby, they're not going to trick me. Because of what I said before, that, well, never mind. The rules and the, laws were changed. That you can't get into energies and etc. You need, well, never mind. I'm not going to get into it. But like I said, others agree with me also. You're not going to do anything like I said, thinking that you are better than God or Jesus or whatever. Bringing him up just to do something. But really, you don't believe in God. And then when everything gets returned back to you, that was funny when, you know, myself and others went through. Well, now it's happening to you all of a sudden. You know, people start praying, help me, God, help me do this, you know, whatever. That, I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not the only one who says this, but I just don't get it. And I also said, there's no more playing victim or whatever. But also, you know, people say things, you know, bully and all that. I said this in my other videos and stuff like that. Especially, you know, when you know, you have children around, you know, and then you start criticizing their mom or dad, you know, in front of them, when it's like a crucial part where they're still developing, to where, you know, you teach them to understand things or whatever, you know, as they're growing up. You know, there's certain ages where they understand things each, you know, span, like 3 years old, 10 years old, you know, whatever, in their teens. You know, to help them not to, you know, be controlled of lies. Which brings me up, which I didn't know, I think it was 3 days ago or something like that, about Mental Health Day. This is for either or, male or female, whatever. You know, we all go through everything, you know. Again, it could start from anything, you know, from when they're a child. You know, mental disabilities and stuff like that, it's not funny. You know, like personality disorders. I'm only bringing up a couple that I, you know, were around. That's why I'm bringing only these few. You know, somebody can have a personality disorder, schizophrenia, OCD, or, you know, just depression. That's nothing to, you know, to be joking about. And remember, everyone is different. Say, you know, you saw someone else has a personality disorder. Or some type of, mental disorder, or depression or whatever. And a person's talking about it, not to just talk about it, it's to make people aware of all this. They could be talking about, well, I started to do this and it's helping a little bit, and they're also making you aware of, the signs, what to look for. You don't criticize on that. Because I will say, and I always said it, like say, okay, you're laughing about somebody has a mental disorder. You're laughing about it, joking around, saying all kinds of crap. Did you know that eventually it will catch up to you for saying it? Like, take weight. People can't, some people can't gain weight, some people can't lose weight, you can if you got the right person to help. What was it? I grew up with this person, hysterical laughing, of this person that was having problems losing weight. And they're like, laughing, talking, blah, 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 blah. And I said, you shouldn't say that. It will come back to you. Oh, yeah, sure, blah, 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 whatever. Years later, I happened to run into that person. And I knew the person that was, a little bit overweight or whatever, where people make fun. And the person who was overweight got somebody to help them. They lost the weight. And guess what returned back to all the ones that, were laughing and, talking about it, bullying and all that. Well, all that, I guess, whatever that, the person lost, all went back to them. So you need to be careful what you say. Like these ones, which they started, I saw, it only happened a few times. So I guess they got knocked to, their knees. I don't know what else happened, but I know something else happened. I just don't get it. Personality disorders, they're from what I was told, about all this, it starts from, like I said, what's this? Oh, that's the number 10. It could be from, their childhood up to, teens, like I said, and adult. I mean, it could be before 10 years old, but, it could be from divorce of their parents. But whoever they had to stay with didn't really take the time probably, I mean, from what I hear, they didn't take the time of, I guess sitting down with the child, because the child is growing and everything, sees all this, the arguments, etc., etc. So they're going through emotional and physical. I don't know if, whatever parent took it out on the child, but these children didn't have a chance to adjust what was going on of their ages, the changes of their ages. Hormones going off. They weren't told what was going on. Being distracted, rebellious, stuff like that. I mean, it's almost the same sleep patterns, schizophrenia, Hewley's, delusional, emotional behaviors. Like I said, you need to sit down with yourself and think back, okay, when did you know that you had this, or whatever, how diagnosed, and just know that none of it is your fault. It's not your fault. Say if it was parents getting a divorce, it's not your fault. And both or one should have said that. And if it was physical, no one should ever go through that. But just remember, also, look how far you got. Even though in between, if you're not, like, I don't know, if you're still going through all this, I guess that's why, if You know, if you still have it, the disorder. I don't know if it will go away, but it could. OCD. That one, well, it could be a lot of things, you know, from a lot of things. Cleaning a lot. And I only heard that it was cleaning a lot. And the funniest thing is, I wanted to look it up. And it had, if you do rituals a lot, you'll get this depression, this mental disorder, along with, you know, having sex a lot, you know, whatever, especially if you are, you know, doing rituals to send it to people with all that. Goes back to you. But the thing is, you know, with mental, like I said, mental disorders, like personality disorder, schizophrenia, OCD, yeah, you need, or depression. It could be, you know, mood swings, sad, loss of interest of whatever. You know, constantly hearing, oh, you can't do anything. You won't amount to anything. Or trying to control, mind control or whatever. You know, like I said, with criticizing a person, telling them all that in front of a child or whatever, or you tell your children that, you know, you feel empty all the time, your sleep patterns are off, or in fear, blaming yourself, you get headaches, back pains, you know, and from a, you know, from, it could be the age of 3, and it said that it will go up to, you know, 19, where you need to find, I guess, help or a solution how to, you know, to make you better again. But like I said, if it brings into adulthood, you know, with kids going to school, you don't want to go, they don't want to go. Or if you're an adult, you work, you don't want to go to work. Then drugs get into the picture. Harming yourself, alcohol, anger. And, you know, with all that comes, you know, some memory loss, being tired, you know, I'm bringing this up as an awareness that you have to, you know, respect and have consideration for anyone. And remember, it is a big step for whoever speaks about it for the awareness. This way they can help others. So if you actually, want to comment to them or whatever, you don't criticize. And if, whoever went through it and you done something that helped you, you give advice and say, hey, I did this, it helped. If you want to try it, you give people advice if you know. All this stuff needs to stop. Because more you criticize, more you make jokes or do rituals for people to have all this, it's only going to come back to you. Because you didn't picture, or I don't know what the word is, but you're not in their shoes, what they go through. And every disorder, personality disorder, schizophrenia, whatever mental disorder, you can have the same, medical term, but everybody's different. How each one, what they go through. So everyone's not the same on handling things. You have to keep that in mind too. And all this is also not only for that. You have to picture being in someone else's shoes with anything. You don't make up lies. You don't do rituals because, you don't like the person. Okay? Well, that's not the person's fault. And how it always, the saying, you don't do things to harm or revenge or hold grudges or whatever because you feel like it. Especially if you don't know people, which, people think that, we don't know them, they don't know us, so we're not going to get anything back. No. Whoever criticizes or talks about somebody, or, like I said, it will come back when you least expect it. Could take, some few years or whatever, but eventually it will come back. But with rituals and stuff like that, well, that's going to be instant now. I was told after I had that conversation, about the disorder and about what I heard, the confirmation, because I was told it was a confirmation. And they said with that, God heard what I was saying, and he said, like what we talked about before, everything's being instant, where you can't get through into spirit anymore, unless you go through, if God says it's okay. And he automatically will know if you're pretending to be someone else, or if you are lying and saying, oh, I'm going in here to, give, I'll just say, a reading, a message, hear what the message is for this person that, a client of mine or whatever. They're going to know if it's a lie. So with the, reading off the Bible, doing things behind the scenes, or just sitting in your kitchen or whatever, wherever, doing word magic or whatever. I told, one, if you're using the Bible to do anything with anyone's names, especially, mocking God and Jesus, it will be instant. All that will come back to you. Along what I said before, you speak my name or any of my family's, my brothers and sisters' name, you will have the coughing spurt that you can't imagine. And once you stop, and if you start again, well, I don't know what will happen. You lie, and this is with any lie or whatever, especially if it's, that a person needs the truth, or whatever, how you want to say it, your hair will be pulled by someone from spirit if you're lying. I told you, I'm like my dad. I'm his baby. So I asked permission. And he asked me, okay, go into detail. What would you like? And I asked. I said, before I say it, you have to agree if it's okay. Because I won't do any harm or revenge on anybody. We talk it over, and he does what he wants with it. So, I'm not going to tell you what we talked about. We talked about a lot. But now it's going to be instant from now on. And if these I didn't ask or whatever, I just knew that it was being sent again. I mean, whatever. I just ignored it. Automatically got returned to sender. And whatever. because I had something else important to, to, write down what I was being told and, getting all that together about mental awareness. Because a lot of people don't take that as anything either. If you see signs of it or whatever, help that person find a good doctor, or I don't know, give them advice. It does get to a point where also take these ones in my situation. Thank you. I said it before. You're not going to be playing victim. You're not going to pretend, oh, I didn't know what I was doing. The devil made me do it and say things. He might have, but you took the bait. So, there was no mental situation there. You weren't you were a victim, but you didn't recognize it. If you recognized it from the beginning, or maybe a month later, give you a grace there. I'm just saying. I don't know how long God would have, but He gave all since I was a child, and the recent ones 5 years ago. So, some had all that time to do right since I was a child, or a baby, I should say. And the other groups 5 years ago. So you had 5 years to change. Not only to change, because I'm not into, you don't change. Fine, whatever, move on. Try to do good. I will never take revenge. I want to say that this way nothing or anything gets twisted. Because if I did something, I will say sorry. But I don't know any of you. Never did anything to you. Oh, wait. Hold it. Wait. If I was a child and I don't know, you did something to me and maybe I kicked you. All kids do that. Because I remember when I got baptized forget how old I was. I don't remember. I think I was baptized. Because I think I was like 4. I don't know. Whatever that was. And, we were in church. I didn't know what was going on. You know, priest put, well, I didn't know it was oil. Put, I said slimy stuff or whatever on me. Then he put something near my neck. Well, I didn't like it. I thought he was going to, choke me or whatever. So I kicked him. And then somebody tried to, I don't know, take me to, yell at me. So I kicked them. By the time they chased me around the whole entire church, I must have kicked a whole bunch of people. I was a child. So if you were one of them, I think I was 3 or 4. I don't know. I was a child. So if that was the case while you're holding a grudge and doing rituals, I am so sorry I did that. If that was the case. When you're a child and you see something, going through for your throat, you're going to think that somebody's, going to choke you. So it must have happened before, somebody tried to choke me, and I remembered. So, Well, you can't say that you didn't get exercise chasing me around the church. I mean, come on. If you were one of the ones that I kicked, sorry. I don't know why. I forgot all about that. They reminded me. Thank you. But yeah. So, before you get it twisted, saying that I did this to you, I did this to you, I did that to you. She's taking revenge and all that. Honey, if I took revenge, I would have done it a long time ago. The only thing that would have came out of your mouth, well, I don't know what I would have done, but, either you wouldn't be here today, or if you spoke about my name, it will come out. Stay away from her. Don't talk bad about her. She's God's baby. That's what will be said. If I took revenge, I would make sure that you knew that I was God's baby, that you messed with the wrong person. But I don't do revenge. But that doesn't mean that God's not going to take care of you. So when he gets done, I don't know what he's going to do. But if people can speak once he's done, you will say. If anybody mentions anything of, of my family, don't mess with them. That will be the only time that you could speak my name or my brothers and sisters, my family, I mean. Because I will say, with me, my brothers and sisters, we will put a stop to it. With others who decide, again, what side they're going to be on. Of the light or the other side. And really, like I said, if you know something is wrong or whatever, you need to speak up. Because if you sit back and know what's going on and did not say anything, meaning to the authorities or to whoever that person would be, if you know who's doing it, and you just let it ride and watch whoever it's being done to or whatever is being done, what they're going through, and they shouldn't be, then you're involved. You didn't go to the authorities, you're involved. If you knew and you sat back, you're helping them, hiding them, whatever. Spirit's not going to play around. They're going to play. All right. They're going to play. Because they love playing. But not like how you thought. And what's happening is nothing. There's more to come. That's just the beginning. So, there was, those two things or whatever that I had to speak about, make aware of. And you know. But I will say, all these new ones that you are bringing in, whoever's getting them, there's more to be tacked on. So I advise, if you got new ones, you better tell them before you've ruined their bloodline. Other than they just did too, but you know. Because you don't know how long of a list all of you have. So you better be careful. I mean, you're complaining now what's going on, and that's just the beginning. You don't know how long that list is, what you did. And the ring ones or whatever that keep getting people, that gets tacked on because you got people involved, but it's up to them to be involved. So, you know, like we said, all of you get punished or whatever God does. You know, whatever you did. And then you get individual and whatever else. So don't you think that you saw enough around you of it coming back? Because it didn't hit you yet. I mean, some are caught and in jail or prison. But those ones, you know, they did something like really stupid quickly or whatever. And they did it at the right time and the right place where, you know, their place, you know, the candles fell over and burnt the place down. Or whatever else they did. I don't know. And truthfully, I really don't care. Because like I said, I have other things that are more important to do. But for us to all come together and make love, you know, spread love and peace around the world. Like I said in my other videos, we have to start with ourselves, you know, and help others around in our community to make our communities safe and clean and, you know, and get children involved. This way they have something to do. You know, you could start off whatever, the town hall, whatever, have a meeting saying, hey, this area we can, like, you know, help clean up. I already went through all this where, you know, buildings can be redone or, people can volunteer to help redo a building or whatever. And then, in like a, I don't know, block party or whatever, downtown area, have something for your children to keep them occupied and have something to do. Instead of, going off, and then meeting, people that they shouldn't be with, which those ones should get involved too. This way they can start doing good. Remember, we need to change and stop repeating. We need to teach our kids, that we can't do that. We can't, they need to learn the word no. They need to learn, I said it in my other video. If I can find it, I have to ask how to, whatever you do, put it in a post or the community or whatever. I'll put it up. I put up like ideas or whatever, how to do all that. I can't remember. But I have to ask how to do things like that. But right now, it's like I'm occupied with other things all at the same time, which is fun, though. But if I'm going to learn how to, share and, I don't know, send a private message or whatever it's called, I don't even know, but once I learn how to do that, I want to make sure that what I need to get done is done, and then I'll learn how to do all that. Or maybe, I don't know, in between. But I hope this message helps. And, again, I didn't know, it was 2 days ago, I think it was, mental awareness. One day it was for women, one day it was for men, but I'm doing it all in one, because it could be either. So think before you say stuff. And, if you see that somebody is like that or whatever, and other than they're doing the awareness and telling you, like, whatever, and somebody that is good, where they can go, I mean, it depends, any advice or whatever could help. Say, hey, this helped, yourself, or, oh, someone did this and they're doing great, so you could, give that to somebody. You don't say, oh, you should do this, like you're controlling that person or telling them what to do. There's a difference how to give someone advice without sounding like you're telling that person, as in controlling them. I know I just said that backwards, but you get what I mean. So anyway, I didn't think that this was going to be long. But it is. So anyway, sending lots of love and peace around the world. And thank you, everyone. And have a great day. Oh, that's right. Thank you. I'm sending coffee, ice or hot, tea, and whatever else that you drink in the morning or in the afternoon to relax, to start your day or night. Ciao.